You alright? Recently I've been unemployed. Yeah, no, I knew I was going to be unemployed, so I kind of like braced myself, because you know, like when you got a job and you think, like, if I only had time, I could achieve so much. But when you're unemployed, like, nothing happens. Literally nothing happens. And to kind of be good at this, you know, to push on with comedy, I've realised you kind of got to be able to relate to people, you need to be able to communicate. And I don't think that many of you would have thought, maybe have another bath today. That'll kill an hour. Literally anything of remark that happened the entire time was a while back. When I was outside the British Library, I saw this big Cockney man tell a wasp to fuck off. He just went, fuck off, you're bang out of order, this is my sermon. I assume he won, you know. And like, when I was unemployed, because I've been a student, you know, it's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Like, no, because it is, because, you know, like when you're a student, you've got all that freedom, you've got the freedom to just do whatever you want. And being a student is pretty much like the happiest I've ever been, I think, you know, if I ignore like being a child or falling in love. And well, I haven't been on a cruise, but it's pretty good. But, like now I'm unemployed, you're just lonely. You're just lonely, and like, when I see my friends now and you kind of go, oh, what are you up to? They just start bragging about what time they've gone to bed. Like they do that, oh, I was in bed by 9:30 last night. And I'm at a stage of life where I know it's no longer about sex, it's just, oh, I'm so successful I can sleep. And I went to go and see my gran, and that makes me sound like a nice person, but we've established I've had nothing to do. She can't throw you away, can she? Yeah. And she's really old, my gran. She's like 88 or 89, or, you know, I don't know. It's beyond the age it was polite to celebrate, anyway. And she's kind of got this thing, like, where she just talks about the end. All she ever talks about is the end. And it's really hard, you know, when you love someone to kind of hear that. So I kind of push her away to do the other thing that kind of old people like to talk about, you know, just that where they regurgitate stories from the past, just tell the same stories over and over again. And it's quite nice in a way, because, you know, it's like her just dictating her own narrative, how she wants to be remembered. And that's a very romantic way of looking at her senility, but it's quite done. And she tells this one story about like when she was younger, and she started dating my granddad. And like what they do for dates, they go to see a West End play, and she realised she was in love with him when they'd seen every play that was on in London. Yeah, that's the story, isn't it? It matters to me, isn't it? And I don't get to see her that much, and especially not my own, you know. So I just took the opportunity and looked at her and said, why can't you be racist or piss yourself? Like all the other comedians' grands. You know I'm struggling. She's very culturally aware, my gran, you know, very culturally sensitive. Because I didn't know this, she told me you're not actually supposed to use the term gypsy, because apparently they'll appear at the foot of your bed and eat your face. Seems unlikely, but she said that. But like, I was still glad that I left my job, because for about a year I was working in accounts or admin or something. They gave me like a computer and a stapler, you know, little clues. But and like, it was a very kind of. You said you worked in admin as well, didn't you? Yeah, one of you. It doesn't matter. But it's like a very soul-destroying job, because I was working with like a bunch of kind of like 50-year-old women, and they were perfectly nice, but you know, like they've been there like 30 years, And I noticed, because every conversation we'd have would always end like turning into one of two conversations, the lottery or cancer, as though they were the only viable ways out. Don't want to join the lottery, Mark? Don't want to join? Oh, if we win, you'll be the only one here on Monday. Yeah, that would be both win, though, wouldn't we? Oh, in the lottery, I'd still work. Just for the chats. Just for the chats. Personally, if I'm in the lottery, I'll buy a mountain of cocaine. And a revolver. And I'll wait. I'll just wait. Maybe I'll get a wee as well, but... I kind of think, like, in a way we're lucky, because like, my generation is the first generation for about 50 years that's been completely unburdened by ambition, which is like really useful in a way, because like back then they were much happier. And you know, like when you were kind of a kid, like you didn't really worry about that, because what are you kind of doing all this for? Like, I'd quite like when I was older to get a place in France where they let you smoke, but apart from that, you know, there's nothing really. And like when you're a kid, you're fine, and then you get up to about 14 or 15, and you think, oh, I'd like to make my impression on the world. So you push a shopping trolley into a park pond, and every day you can walk past and think, I did that. And I wasn't like assertive when I was that age. I wasn't like hilariously bad with girls or anything. I was just more the kind of, maybe this girl will follow me off the bus and have sex with me. Like, that was my best move. And all the other boys, they kind of get haircuts and flip-flops and learn to drive, but it's very aggressive, isn't it? I was kind of, I'm an old romantic. I fall in love with girls, really. Like, even when I was that, I just, you know, if falling in love is pretending the one girl you're friends with is perfect, because you're terrified of any other form of intimacy. And then just letting word get round back to her. And then she finds out and she's weirded out because she's got a boyfriend and she doesn't fancy you. And there's a terrible sense of awkwardness every time we're in the room together, but it's yours, isn't it? You say that. Well, I got a girlfriend now, I'm happy. Yeah, you forget all the rest of it, home. No, because I got a job as well. Yeah, okay. But like, I was kind of worrying that, like, now that I'm happy, that it might affect my comedy, because it's usually, you know, I'm quite dismissive of everything. But since I've been happy, I don't know, you just start noticing things in different ways. Like, when I go home, I'm in a good mood, and like my girlfriend's already there, and we got this little cat, right? And when I open the door, he runs through, and we look at each other, and we go, oh. Bobby's got the early train.